I'm very moved here because there are so many of you that I've known over the years, some of you for many, many years, some of you I just met, some of you I've met online. But the greatest thank you can give a teacher or a mentor or a guide in life, a Sherpa, is to do something with a gift that they gave you. If you drop it, you can go around and say, hey, thank you, it was great to meet you, whatever. But it's not the same as becoming what that person saw in you. I'm very emotional tonight because there is people that I've seen many years ago that are here, and it's touched me that they decided to come here. But all my life, when I meet people, I have the keen perception to see the goodness in them and the potential in them. And then I had been given the gift somehow, not something that I learned in books, not something that I learned from a teacher or anything. It came to me intuitively, innately, to be able to draw that out of them and to push them. So that has been my journey in life. And my journey in life didn't have a plan. You hear people say, you have to have goals. Make your goals. Have a plan. And you all heard it, people saying, tell the universe, the divine God, your plan, and make sure that they're laughing, right? There is a distinction between coming from your mind, from your intellect, from your ego, and have a plan for your life. I'm going to go to Life University. I'm graduating in 2025. I'm going to move to a suburb someplace. I'm going to have a house with a 3-car garage. I'm going to have 2 children. That's called having a plan and a goal. I'm going to have a practice, and I'm going to see 200 people a day. That arises out of the intellect and out of the ego. And usually those plans do not pan out. So there is deceptions. And then you find yourself dead in the water suddenly. But there is another plan that is ordained, that is designed, that comes from the soul. And when you surrender to your soul for a greater purpose than yourself, that plan starts to unfold itself in front of you, and you don't have to make choices. It's almost like, oh, it's so obvious, this door is open. Oh, this is a place where I should be. Pointing your synchronicity that you shared with me today, right? There is suddenly, when you surrender to your soul and to a life that you were born to embrace, and you surrender to that life, there will be hypersynchronicity, there will be serendipity, there will be providence, there will be grace that will meet you every step of the way, in spite of sometimes the ups and downs, because life has peaks and valleys. In my experience, we grow in the valley. I live in Colorado, and I can tell you, you climb a 14,000 footer, you're on top of the mountain, it is stunningly beautiful, it is gorgeous. You can see as far as the eye can see. But you can't stay there. If you stay there too long, lightning, thunder, storm will take you down. And if there is no lightning, you have no food or water. It is in the valley of life that the nourishment comes. It is where the shade is from the element, where you meet other people, where you have water and food, where you have nourishment. So in that journey of following your soul calling, it's a constant surrender, and it's an awareness to have, where is the river of my life taking me? Not where do I take the river of my life? Where is the river of my life taking me? and being able to surrender to that with awareness. And knowing that, yes, there is rapids, there is very slow-moving water, and then it accelerates, and learning to ride it with a constant awareness, to stay attuned. So in 1973, for me, my life was going in a very dark direction. I'm very surprised that somehow I didn't end up in jail or maybe mutilated or killed. My life was going in a very dark place. And then, as a result of a motorcycle crash, I ended up meeting a chiropractor. And on that one visit, in that one interaction, on the first day, my life took a 180-degree turn. In that moment, in that interaction with that man, something was ignited in me. My calling was ignited. My vocation was ignited. My purpose, the purpose of my soul. And from 1973 on, I can honestly say that I have not worked a single day in my life. I was born independently wealthy, that's why. Didn't work a day in my life. Now, those of you that have known me over the years know the outputs that I've put into the life, the commitment, the schedule, the energy put out. But that was never work. Because when you are pulled by your soul's calling, you have boundless energy. You're not pushing life, you're being pulled by life. There's a great distinction between the two. When you come out of your intellect and your ego, and you have plan in your life, I guarantee you, you are pushing. And eventually, you will run out of energy. There is no boundless energy when that energy comes from you rather than through you, because you are following your soul calling. So, in coming here tonight, it was uncanny that it is in this hotel, in the mid-80s, in the lobby of this floor, that I received an adjustment that pulverized my body with white light. I had no perception, to give it the most accurate description, I had no perception of my physical body, because my physical body was transmuted and permeated with white light. I don't know how long I stayed on that table before I had the awareness that came to me that I had a flight to take back to Philadelphia. I was already 73, I went to school, I graduated in 77, so basically, do the math, nearly 10 years out of practice, into chiropractic, active practice. In that adjustment, something so profound happened that I became a vegetarian from the inside out. Not, oh, I'm going to not eat meat in order to elevate my vibration and my consciousness. No. I could not eat meat. My body refused to eat meat because my vibration had been raised at such a high level. I was compelled to meditate. I had been trying to meditate since chiropractic school. Morning, getting up 5:30, 5:45, and then having to go to class. Some of you can relate to that. Compelled to meditate and have to extract myself willingly with the awareness that I had to go to my office because I didn't want to leave the state, the inner state of full bliss, complete bliss. For 3 months, I sustained that state of being with being virtually nonverbal. It doesn't mean that I couldn't speak. I had zero need to speak. And for the first time in all my years in practice, and I had seen good results, quote, result in quote, because what is a result in chiropractic? But I had never seen miracles. For 3 months, I saw miracles in my office with barely touching people, or sometimes people just coming into my field. So why am I sharing this story? Because from that moment forward, from believing in chiropractic, which is a belief, from believing in subluxation, which is a belief, it moved into a place of knowing. The experience that I had gave me a knowing of the truth and the reality of the principle that we have in chiropractic. And from that moment forward, I was unwavering in sharing, wherever I would go, the principle. Because it was no longer a belief that could be disputed. You can believe in, I believe that I understand what being raped is. It's a belief. Until you have the experience of being raped, you have no clue what it is. You can talk about it, you can read into books, you can dance around it, but you don't know what it is. That's what happened to me. All those years in school, beautiful philosophy, beautiful principle, different theories and models of subluxation, a belief. I remember hearing people from the stage, I believe in chiropractic. I was there too. Yeah, I believe too, with a little doubt. But that experience transformed from belief into knowing. So now it was a different ballgame. When you know something through the experience, it's there with you and it stays with you. And you don't have to think it, you don't have to argue it with anybody, you just know. So what is the knowing that I got out of that adjustment? Which, by the way, when I got home, I was so full of light that when my wife came downstairs, I had left the bedroom upstairs because there was so much going on processing that I went downstairs into a guest bedroom, and realizing that she had left the bed, she came down, she lay down next to me, and she was blasted by the light, completely blasted by the light. So she had the same experience. So what did I get out of that? I got that a dead person has a light has gone out. Yes? An alive person, there is light. It has been even proven scientifically there is a field of energy that emanates outside the body. There is a radiance, an energy field, a biofield. So when there is light in the body, and it is partially blocked to various degree, we're expressing less than our light, less than the full life expression. When it is released partially, we may feel a slight difference. And in my view, the art of chiropractic, until that day, in the mid-'80s, was still a progressing infancy. We had the skill to partially release a little bit of light in people. Sometime, not even all the time. That's my honest assessment from experience. But that adjustment released the totality of the light to the degree that the body was transmuted by light, pulverized by light, no physical perception of your physical being. You're just walking pure light. And I was sharing with Wade yesterday when we came to look at the room that after that adjustment, I stood in the lobby of that hotel waiting for a student to come back as I had handed him my key to take my luggage out of the room without a word. The student came up to me and said, "Can I help you?" And I handed him the key, and he got the connection because at the time the key still had a number on it. Got my luggage. And I'm waiting, I'm like this. I'm waiting outside, in the lobby in front of the elevator, and it's brunch time for the Southerners that have gone to the churches, and they're coming in with their family. Adults don't see what's going on, but the young children, 2 years old, 3 years old, toddler, 4 years old, are coming, and I'm not exaggerating, they're coming, and they're virtually bringing their head under my hands, and then stops there for a moment and move on. And this is happening while I'm waiting for my luggage. The totality of the light was released. So what do I know from that? That is the gift and the potential of chiropractic should the art of chiropractic evolve so that nearly every chiropractor can deliver such an adjustment. What do I know from that? Is that the principles of chiropractic, talking about life force being generated by the brain, generating what is called forun, quantity of life force, that life force flow down the pipeline of the spinal cord and then flow over the nerve to reach every single tissue cell and then transmute itself into chemical transmitter to reach every single cell of the body with a life force message. That's the essence of the principle of chiropractic in its purest form, has uncovered, not discovered. Humanity never discovered anything. We uncovered what is already there by D.D. Palmer, and then very well articulated and laid down by B.J. Palmer. That is what you came to Life University, or have graduated from Life University with as a principle. Now the question is this where chiropractic is in the world? Is this what they're teaching you at Life University? And we all know the answer to that. Chiropractic has the potential and the capacity to bring enlightenment. I'm not an enlightened person. I experienced enlightenment for 3 months. There is a difference between a stage and a state. I experienced the state of enlightenment. And at the end of 3 months, married, 2 children adopted from Korea, when your energy rises to that level, you have no sexual desire. It's a matter of fact that the sexual organ shrink and retract as a man in cold water. Celibate for 3 months. Coming home to meditate at night, meditate in the morning, going to the office, serving people. No verbal communication. No need for it. So after 3 months, my wife said, "Honey, I haven't seen you in 3 months. The kids haven't seen you in 3 months. Our relationship is dying." It wasn't, because she was aware of my state, but from the previous time. And she said, "Would you please sit down with the kids and I and watch the opening ceremony of the Olympics in Seoul, Korea?" And I kid you not, I relented. I didn't meditate that night. I walk into the room where we had the TV, and the instant that I logged onto the TV, it was virtually like a vacuum cleaner sucked my stage out. And I dropped back, not as far down as I had come up from, but I dropped back significantly. The principle that we have has a capacity to enlighten humanity. And don't we need humanity that at least touch that experience, or maybe rise to that experience as a result of receiving those adjustments on a regular basis? Look at the state of humanity today. Do we have time for a portion of humanity to sit in cave in meditation for 10 years? Do we have time for people to segregate themselves in ashram outside the real world? Or do we need people that walk everyday life with a higher state of consciousness? My vision from way back when I stumbled into chiropractic has been to elevate human consciousness in matter of life, health, healing, wellness, and well-being. It's a big vision. Chiropractic is about life. My vision was to elevate human consciousness in relationship to life, health, healing, wellness, and well-being. Because the way that we're going today, as a family of humans, we definitely need an awakening. And it is amazing to me that in the history of chiropractic, D.D. Palmer turned on the inner light through the adjustment, while at the same time, Thomas Edison turned on the outer light at the Hotel Palmer in New England. Interesting synchronicity of the universe and words. Thomas Edison announced the capacity to turn on the outer light at a hotel in New England called Hotel Palmer. That is a gift that we were given. What have we done as a profession with it? In my opinion, we have put it into the gutter and trashed it, so that the rest of the world believes that chiropractic is a treatment for neck ache and backache. Another segment of the population believes that chiropractic is a treatment for various conditions. We're teaching a model in schools that tell people, tell me your symptoms. As soon as we tell someone, tell me your symptoms, what are we silently saying? I have a tool to fix your symptoms. That is not to say that chiropractic doesn't have an effect on symptomatology, but it's not a treatment for it. In its purest form, in its essence, it was designed to open up the channel. And in my view, that channel, that pipeline where life force flow, life force is encoded with all of the information of innate, because innate intelligence is ever present in the body, which means it is present in the life force at all time. It is present everywhere in the body at all time. But the life force carries the messages, the commands to the cell. To keep that pipeline open on a regular basis to the best of our ability is a positive for human physiology. It's a gift to human beings. It doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't mean that somebody won't have cancer. You know, if you have been vacationing at Chernobyl or at 3 Mile Island, at some point you might have cancer, right? You get the picture. It doesn't guarantee anything. But does it make sense that it allows the body to function at its optimum capacity and to express life and light at its optimum capacity. So that's where we were given as a profession. That is a gift we were given. And we do it by hands, which is interesting because hands is a language of love. It's also the language of healing. Throughout history, laying of the hand, touching, babies that are not being touched, they don't thrive. They start to deteriorate and eventually die. Couples that no longer touch each other suddenly break apart. Elderly people that are in nursing home and suddenly they're being given a pet to touch on a regular basis, there is symbiotic relationship that takes place, and suddenly the arthritis, their hands that were all arthritic, soften up while they're petting the pet. All this has been recorded. Touch is a language of love. Touch is a language of healing. We have been given this gift. And I've been sharing in various forms, in various ways, different circumstances with different audiences, this message since I received that adjustment. Some people got the hint. Some people went, interesting, walked away. But you are in school. And I get it. Believe me, I get it. I was talking to a young woman that brought Nate from the airport. What was her name? Jordan, yeah. It wasn't a surprise when she told me, you're buried in the curriculum. You're buried in the curriculum of a medical curriculum, and then you're lucky if someplace, somewhere on campus or outside the campus, you can find a sliver of chiropractic. My intention in coming here tonight, my sole simple intention and commitment and desire is your success. So because you're a chiropractic student, I need to lay the reality of what is possible in chiropractic, what we have to aim for. When I went to Sherman, I was told by my chiropractor in Paris, France, his name was Jean Bellaval, he passed away, I'm going to send you to the very best chiropractic college in the world to receive the very best education. That resonated with me. I'm going to go to the best institution, get the best education. I want to be the best, and if not the best, one of the best. Why would anyone want anything less than that? It's beyond me. Why would anyone spend $250,000 to $300,000 investing in their education to be average, poor, or mediocre? Why wouldn't every one of you, especially you, the cream of the crop in this room, people that are already somewhat invested, not want to go, I'm going for the NFL, I'm going for the NBA of chiropractic. I'm not playing basketball against a garage door with a rusted hoop. I'm in the NBA. So I want to inspire you to go for the star, to go for the ultimate performance that you can achieve within yourself. And there is a specific ingredient that over the years I have identified in what makes a person successful. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on defining success. We all know some people equate success with a lot of money. Some people in chiropractic equate success with a lot of money and a lot of people being seen. There is all kind of definition. So I'm going to cut through the chase and give you my definition of success, and hopefully it might resonate with you. Because we have a philosophy and a principle that is vitalistic, that is so unique. My definition of success is the number of lives that you touch, and by being an enzyme or a catalyst, elevate to a higher level of consciousness in relationship to life, health, healing, wellness, and well-being, because that's more a field. But life encompasses everything. So it encompasses dying. It encompasses sickness, injuries, troubles, an understanding of life, the environment, inner and outer. If you can make that definition your definition of success, to elevate human consciousness by being a catalyst, an enzyme to their transformation, while, and pay attention to this, while harvesting inner wealth and outer wealth. I don't have to talk about outer wealth, everybody knows what that is. But inner wealth. Can you walk out of your practice every single day, be so fulfilled, so happy, so content, that it takes you 2.5 to 3 hours to come down before you can go to sleep? Can you walk out of your practice having more energy when you leave your practice, in spite of the physical demand, than you had when you walked in? And for those of you that are in practice in here, if you are not there, if you are depleted when you leave your practice, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, tweaking needs to be done. Fine-tuning needs to be done. You're working it. You're not allowing it to happen. You're pushing the river of your life. You're not surrendering to the river. You're operating from the mental. You haven't transcended into being present and in your heart. Because if you are present and in your heart, and you are there strictly to serve people with no other consideration, not a sort of a dollar sign, not a sort of numbers, no other consideration than being with them in present time consciousness, then if you have that, you have boundless energy. So I'll run through it fast because we started late and some of you may have commitment and I don't want to override it. But the number one ingredient of all of the people over the years that I have met, that have gone to highly successful according to those definitions, number one is integrity. Integrity with yourself. Which means when you speak to yourself and you say, for those of you that have gone to a seminar, I'm going to do my push-ups every morning to bring my fast fiber in adjusting, right? My triceps. And then a week goes by and you already dropped two mornings. You have been lying to yourself. You're out of integrity with the words that you spoke to yourself. Because being in integrity means being your words with yourself, being your words with others, which means doing the things you say you would do and not doing the things you say you wouldn't do. Integrity is a key element of success within the definition of success that I just gave you. Wade started and asked, what kind of human being do you want to be? It's not something that, I was born totally honest. Probably we were born honest, but somehow along the line, we learned dishonesty. So to catch back with ourselves, we have to say, from this moment forwards, I am, powerful statement, an honest being. From this moment forwards, I am in integrity. From this point forwards, I am a non-smoker, if you were a smoker. That statement of I am that is so powerful when you really get it. That's being in integrity with yourself, in integrity with others. And you know what happens when you're in integrity? You create a field of energy around you. There is an attraction that is magnetized to you because people can see it consciously or unconsciously, subliminally, neurologically maybe, intuitively, but they perceive, wow, that person has integrity. And when you act out of integrity, when you are in integrity, do you know what manifests? You virtually create other people in integrity. You come to them with your integrity, and they respond. Especially that if you are in integrity, more likely you vibrate slightly higher vibration, not calling it better, just different level of vibration. Integrity is key to success. Vision, second element. So a lot of time when we talk about vision, people goes, what I mentioned earlier, oh yeah, I want to be living in the suburb, have a Mercedes-Benz, 3-car garage, 2 children, here they come. And that's a personal vision. It has nothing to do with a vision for humanity, or at least for your community or for your state. The greater your vision, the more energy flows through you, and the more you're being pulled. The vision is never to be against something. It is to be for something. Martin Luther King was not against racism. It was for equal rights. Gandhi was not against India being occupied by the English. It was for the restoration of the integrity of India through nonviolence. So the vision to elevate human consciousness. Vision is key. Knowledge is key. You cannot move through life with a belief, not in chiropractic. You have to transcend from belief into knowledge, and with experience and years into wisdom. But you have to acquire the knowledge. So I'm going to be quick on it. There is immutable knowledge in chiropractic. And I'll make it very simple. A corpse cannot heal, a living being can heal. What is the difference between a corpse and a living being? The life force flowing through the living being that is no longer present in the corpse. The distinction between the two is not physical. I've said it many times, if I take cyanide, I drop that in 3 seconds right here, my blood is still warm. I have what? Brain, nerve system, bones, organ, tissue, skin, DNA. It is a life force that powers the human body. The nerve system, another truth, and I'm asking you to listen to this with a questioning mind, with a probing mind. Is it true? Does the brain and nerve system control the human body? That's what you're being taught in school. Here's the brain, here's the nerve system, here's the nerve root, it controls the human body. See how it goes to the organ? It is a life force flowing through the brain and nerve system that controls the human body. The same way that the wiring in this room is not running those lights. It is the electricity, the energy flowing through the wire that are running the air conditioner and the light and the TV screen. That simple single distinction is so powerful because it cannot be argued. I don't care if you're a Princeton graduate, MIT graduate, you cannot argue with an unarguable truth. Is there an innate intelligence? Innate intelligence is the mind, the architect, the designer behind everything that we are. So take a human cell that you cannot even see with the naked eye, that is smaller than the ovum, typical human cell. What kind of intelligence designed a human cell to put mitochondria, chemical factory, ribosome, lysosome, vacuoles, semi-permeable membrane, and in the middle of this invisible dot, put a nucleus that has 6 feet of DNA? What kind of intelligence designed this? You want to argue it? You're from MIT? Let's argue about it. What kind of intelligence designs the heart, the kidneys, every part of us? It is unarguable that there is an intelligence that designed the human body, that designed life, that runs the universe. Those are unarguable truths. What is healing? Oh, healing is not having symptoms. If I suppress them with medication, you're healed. It's not that. Healing is sick cell or damaged cell or injured cell or pathological cells dying, being replaced by new one. Now, if nothing has changed in the body, the pathology or the injury won't heal. But if something has changed, then it can heal. Because it's a creation of new tissue. It's new cell being born. And birth and creation of new cell come from where? From life force. Again, a corpse can create new cells. Those are unarguable truths, and we could go on and on and on. This element of knowledge, to know what is an unarguable truth so that you can present it to every human being regardless of their level of education, and it will be received because it cannot be argued with. Obviously, you have to have communication skill in chiropractic and phenomenal practical skills. You put those simple elements together, your integrity, your vision, asserted knowledge that cannot be argued, good communication or great communication skills, and phenomenal capacity to deliver the goods, you have a winning formula for success. Along the line that I talked about, because communication is going to be your key to elevate human consciousness, to deprogram people, to de-hypnotize people, to de-domesticate people. Because people are looking at that tube all day long, and the vast majority of the world today is brainwashed, thoroughly brainwashed, with program, I don't care which channel you watch, that has an agenda behind it. It is not speaking truth. So human beings, the mind, has to be shocked and addressed to awaken them out of the stupor of this programming. You do those things, success. But it doesn't start when you graduate. Your integrity starts the moment you decide, and the earlier, now is better, because your future is an accumulation of now. So you decide, and you start to line up all those elements as early as you choose and decide. But the promise I can make you, from the experience that I've had of 40-some years in chiropractic, is that the people that have followed this path of listening to the river of their soul, or embracing their lives, of surrendering to a greater purpose, have been on an endless vacation. Doesn't mean you're not putting output, responsibility, and so on an endless vacation. And you will be fulfilled every night with a deep contentment, a deep joy within your heart, being full, and in deep gratitude. How can I have been given this life? I cannot tell you the number of days that I've been overwhelmed with gratitude, being invited by people in my office that receive care on a regular basis. Would you please come to the dying bedside of my father? I don't know the father. I've never been to my office. But you become such an important person in their lives that they want you to be there in the privacy of a dying person or the privacy of a birthing woman. Not to be a doula, not to be an obstetrician, but just to be present because they value you so much in their lives. What kind of gratitude not to have about that? Or a young woman that bringing, here's my 3 days old baby, would you check him? Or her? I can't tell you the joy that is. It carries you through the rest of the day. Hey, John, you know what just happened? This woman brought me a 3-hour-old baby to check, or 3 days old baby to check. You don't have to say, I would like you to bring my children for chiropractic care because they do deserve chiropractic care on a regular basis. You understand the difference? You're just sharing your living experience, and through that sharing, do you think he gets the message that babies are welcome to get adjusted, especially if it's open adjusting and they see you adjusting babies and children while they're waiting? So I hope that you got something, a spark, and that with that spark, you turn into a flame and a roaring fire. Because the passion that you can have when you are fully in love with this principle, with chiropractic, is unbelievable. This is, the gifts we were given is incomprehensible. A philosophy, an art, and a science, so that we can express our own artistry, that we have a philosophy to share with people. You know, when you see the light coming on inside them, it's amazing. And a science which is not technology. The science of chiropractic is the understanding of the biology, of the physiology, of the neurology. And that is the mind of the designer, that is the mind of innate. We're given those 3 components with a profession that had no overhead. I mean, do you know of any other discipline that virtually has no overhead, except your rent and your hands and your heart? Sometimes I'm like, I don't know that I can make it. Well, dude, look at this shop here. They sell birthday card. They're in a mall. How many birthday cards do you need to sell to make it for your day or for your months, right? All you have is headrest paper and toilet paper in your hand. You get it? Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really, really appreciate your presence. And those of you that are coming for the seminar the rest of the weekend, get ready to rock and roll. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.